So, fellow investors living in Canada, we have a new stock trading platform in town, and it's a big one. Webull has come to Canada. No doubt one of the biggest stock trading platforms in the world. And let's just say, there's still much to be desired. Okay, if you know me, I'm brutally honest. And Webull did reach out to me for a sponsorship opportunity. And after giving it some thought, I just personally can't recommend a product I'm just not gonna use. Although, I do have to admit, I think Webull in Canada has a lot of potential. So how does Webull compare to other stock trading platforms in Canada? Now, just looking at fees, it's a budget trading platform, which is very similar to the US. It's got a very intuitive platform with real-time stock trading prices. And literally one of the biggest stock trading platforms in the world, no doubt about that. I mean, you've probably seen it. YouTubers in the US are promoting Webull like crazy. You probably heard it. 2 free stocks if you sign up with Webull using this promo code. I mean, I don't have a promo code because I didn't sign with them. But you get it. Webull is promoting hard in the US. And Webull is pretty decent in the US. So them coming to Canada should leave people excited. But here's where Webull falls short in Canada. First of all, for Canadians, trading on Webull, it's not free. In the US it is. In Canada, they charge you $2.99 per trade. So if it's a Canadian stock, it's $2.99 Canadian dollars to buy and sell. Of course, if it's US stocks, it's $2.99 US dollars. Now, when asked about the commission structure that's in Canada that's not in place in the US, according to Money Sense, CEO of Webull Securities Canada stated, Canada is more expensive in terms of costs and fees to do business than in the US. Look, I'm not an accountant, so I don't know about the tax or business expenses in Canada compared to the US for stock trading platforms, but I'll take his word for it. On top of that, Webull's options trading in the US is huge. Like, it's one of their main products in the US, but you don't get that in Canada. And if you see my video on my investment portfolio, I buy US stocks. I love US stocks for their high growth potential. And for me, I only buy US stocks using Questrade and not Wealthsimple. And the reason is because Questrade allows for Norbert's Gambit. And if you don't know what that is, essentially for a small commission fee, you bypass currency exchange fee. So for example, Wealthsimple charges 1.5% for their currency conversion rate. So if I were to buy $1,000 worth of Tesla stock, which is in the US, and I used Canadian dollars to buy that, Wealthsimple will charge me $15 in currency conversion. By using Norbert's Gambit at Questrade, I can buy an ETF like DLR.TO, which is in Canadian dollars, and then convert it or journal it to DLR.U.TO, which is in US dollars, sell it, and then pay like $5 in commission. There's actually a lot of videos online about Norbert's Gambit, so to save time, I'm not going to go into the details. The only downside about Norbert's Gambit is that it takes about 3 or 4 business days to complete. But what if you want to convert 5,000 Canadian dollars or even 10,000 Canadian dollars to buy a stock in the US? Can you imagine paying 1.5% in currency conversion fee? I mean, that can add up. And the number one rule in investing is lowering your fees. So with Norbert's Gambit, I only pay about $5 to convert my Canadian currency into US currency at Questrade. Unfortunately, Wealthsimple doesn't support Norbert's Gambit, so that trick doesn't work. Webull Canada, they don't support Norbert's Gambit here too.
Oh, really? That sucks.
I actually asked the customer service at Webull and they confirmed it. And they charge 1.5% currency conversion rate, which is the same as Wealthsimple. So let's summarize some of the disadvantages Webull Canada has compared to its competitors. Trading commission is $2.99, which is higher than Wealthsimple, which is free. Yes, it's lower than Questrade for trading stocks. But here's the thing, Questrade's ETF is free to buy, only costs money to sell. Which brings me to point 2. It is cheaper than Questrade, but it doesn't support Norbert's Gambit. I mean, if Webull Canada wants to charge a commission for every trade, that's fine. But if they don't support Norbert's Gambit, they really can't compete with Questrade. Finally, options trading. I mean, they're known for that in the US. I don't trade options, but it's pretty obvious that Webull is trying to target more towards professional traders. And they're gonna want that function. Okay, for Webull Canada, it's not all downsides though. It's got some positives. First advantage, real-time pricing. Wealthsimple, it's free, but there's a 15-minute delay on pricing. Questrade, US stocks, Same thing, 15 minutes delay. Now, when you do execute a stock, you buy or sell at the real-time price. Okay, if it's real-time price when you buy or sell, why does 15 minutes delay matter? Let's say you want to buy Tesla, an extremely volatile stock. Well, Simple might say that the price is, $200, but that price was 15 minutes ago. You execute the trade, you buy the stock, and what the heck? It's $250 per stock? What's going on? Cause it's possible that within that 15 minutes, some crap happened that made the stock go up by 25%. Now you might ask, why don't these platforms just have real-time pricing? Cause it costs a lot of money for companies to have real-time pricing. And for budget brokers in Canada, that's just not possible. But with Webull Canada, you do get level 2 quotes with big exchanges. Now in a future video, I can explain in more details what a level 2 quote is, but essentially, it gives you way more information about a stock for professional traders. You know what? For most casual traders holding a stock for the long term, you don't really need level 2 quotes. Another positive about Webull Canada is that the customer service is pretty good, at least with my short interaction with them. And look, Webull is a big brand. I'm sure that this is their first experiment in the Canadian market. And if they improve and add more features, I'm certainly gonna try using them. But for the time being, it's gotta be sticking with Simple and Questrade. Alright, that's it for today. If you learned something from my video, please consider a like and subscribe. And let me know about what you think about the introduction of Webull in Canada down in the comments. Again, I make financial tips for Canadians in my long form content and financial comedy in my shorts. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time.